This is where the fun begins.
But we've seen this movie before.
What's Sam Pittman known for?
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Is the Arkansas athletic program cursed? But you never know what the loudest mouth in the fan base and his wild band of misfits are going to say.
I have a river of Kool-Aid for basketball.
It's time to step inside the Hawg Pen with your hosts, Razorback Zach and Marcus MC Carlton.
Oh boy. What's up, everybody? Welcome to an all-new episode of Inside The Hog Pen. I'm your host from the Central Arkansas Hawg Pen, as always, Razorback Zach, alongside my broadcast team. Starting from the NEA, it is the man, the myth, the legend, my brother, buddy, co-host, and professionally proven glue that holds the whole damn thing together, Marcus MC Carlton. And just up the street here in Central Arkansas is our executive producer and current esteemed tribal chief, Dylan Madden. Boys.
What's up, bud?
Another day. By the way, for those of you that are watching, we got a brand new guy on our staff. He will occasionally pop in. He will be the voice that you hear of the wise man, Loki DeWitt, running our comments and everything. Okay, so let's get right into this. First off, welcome to Inside the Hog Pen, where everybody is welcome. Not just students, not just Hawg Fanatics. Everybody is welcome here.
Oh, man.
If it were just students, they wouldn't fill but half the section.
If it were just students,
maybe half.
If it was just students, they wouldn't show up. Okay. So let me kind of explain as we jump into this. Let me check my levels here. Let me explain kind of what we're doing tonight. So in the past, we have analyzed the games. We've given our opinions as fans. But some things have transpired over the week and the weekend that I'm going to shake things up a bit here on Inside the Hog Pen. I talked it over with the guys, and this is our annual State of the Hog. So basically what happens is we're opening up the pen tonight and letting you guys air your grievances out because we've got some. And for those of you that know me personally, I'm about to get on my soapbox, so y'all sit back and get comfortable. Here's the thing. Last week, topic number one. We ready to do this, boys?
Welcome to Inside the Hog Pen, where we don't settle for mediocrity.
No, we don't settle for mediocrity, which leads me to
That sounded really stupid of Loki. I'm just going to say it right now.
Is that the mantra of stupid people coming out? I mean,
mantra of stupid people. I'm going to tell you now. I broke this story last week on Inside the Hog Pen Radio, and I'm still not over it yet because this guy is supposed to be the voice of the freaking Razorbacks. Guess what? I'm the voice of Razorback Nation, if that's the case, because anybody that is a Razorback fan right now needs to understand we're less than mediocre right now. 30 and 31 in 5 years, 7 and 17 in the SEC in 3 seasons. MC, I'm sorry, but why should I give my hard-earned money that I make to a program that does not give a damn about its fan base?
When they're constantly begging all of us for just $100 a month, and you can make us more competitive. But then
if Juracek hasn't realized he's not in Houston anymore, we don't have money like that here.
I mean, let's just put it this way. Houston, we got a problem. Here's the thing, okay? Here's what I don't understand. You're supposed to, and I get it, they're the propaganda machine. But to make matters worse, his co-host comes out and says, MC, I'm going to let you take it.
He was doing damage control. Because I'm looking at like the original tweet that came out, that was clipped. And this is where this starts in. This is a bigger problem. This is the prime example of the disconnect between the athletic department and anybody that's below the level of a Broyles Matthews level donor. Okay. So that's going to pretty much put everybody except for your big money people, your JB Hunt, your Jerry Joneses, all of those people Anybody below that level, there is a huge disconnect between the athletic department and the fan base. And so I'm looking back at this original clip that was pulled from the show where it talks about, I don't settle for mediocrity is the mantra of stupid people. 289 replies, 85 hearts. I believe, Dylan, correct me if I'm wrong, that's called getting ratioed kids.
Yeah, that's getting ratioed right there.
So
but here's the
Bo
thing.
comes back and tries to do his damage control, and it comes across even more smug and out of touch to me than the original comment did, because the way it come across to me was, hey, we were having fun on the show. If you guys don't understand our sense of humor, then that's not really on us, is how that came across to me, which did not do anything to help the situation because that one got ratioed as well. And I just don't. I mean, we've been saying for a while that there is a huge disconnect between guys like us, which, I feel like that we are a pretty fair representation of the common fan. We try to be that's, between that and the athletic department as a whole, because you've seen it with the way all of the seating at every venue has been restructured more to crap. Well, and that's, I mean, again, we've taken places like Baum Stadium that had just the best environment in all of college sports. I'll put it up against Cameron Indoor. I'll put it up against Saturday Night in Baton Rouge. But pound for pound, you can't tell me that there was a better environment than Baum Stadium. But the Baum Stadium that we see the clips of, the Charlie Welch home run, the any of the walk-offs that happened between 2018 and we'll say up to 2022. That Baum Stadium does not exist anymore. You saw it at the last home series. The closest we've come to that was the Texas series. And that was because it was Texas. Now, you'll probably see that again with Tennessee coming up. But if you look at the regionals, the last couple of times that we've hosted, and yes, we've kind of played like crap and been eliminated in our own regional. But the opening game, where in the past it would have been raw, rowdy, off the charts, looking like the Charlie Welch game, you're not seeing that anymore at all. Bud Walton Arena, I don't even have to say anything on that to tell you what's happened there. You look back to a couple, and it's got nothing to do with Cal. It's got nothing to do with him. It's about the way things have been restructured with the seating and the disconnect. And now you've got people that are coming in just for the big games. You don't have people like us that would be diehards and be there screaming our mouths off every single night, even with the success.
Oh, but MC, you forget about the people inside the Hawg Pen, the guys that have shown up for every game for the past 20 years. But
right.
They're not part of the Hawg Pen anymore, are they?
Well,
but I didn't understand that either. And it's just, we're what is wrong with all of us? Why are we attacking each other? Hang
on. Here's the thing. And it boils down to one word: apathy. Apathy within the football program, which boiled over into the basketball program, which now has boiled over into the baseball program. But here's the problem. Look, I'll be honest with you. I may not like some of the guys that are in the Hawg Pen. They may not like me, but they show up 3 days before the game even starts. These guys camp out 3 days before the game even starts. They're not students. They're not, 20, 30-year-olds. These guys are seasoned fans. Like, no offense, MC, because I'm in that age group now, but 40 and 50-year-olds and higher. Yeah. These guys are taking their hard-earned time away from their work, away from their families, to go camp out for a baseball game. Right. But you have students showing up because, school's out. Okay, we can't even fill the damn student section at Reynolds Razorback Stadium, much less the student section inside of Bud Walton. And now y'all are like, the Hawg Pen is for the fans. the Hawg Pen is nuts. It's for the students. Get the hell over it, first off, because that was not made for the students. It was made for general admission because corporations and big donors were buying up every damn seat back in the stadium, in the arenas.
And that's what it is. The people that are my age and older that are out there that are the diehards, some of those people that was their only option. It was either that or don't get tickets because they had been pushed out of their seats that they had for years in favor of corporate people who are going to pay the big dollars. And then this is a prime example. There have been home games this season, last season, the year before, and the year before that, where you could look at any series, any SEC series, and see people from the opponent fan base sitting in places they had no business sitting behind home plate. When you get that shot of the from the batter's eye coming, the traditional behind the pitcher shot, camera shot, I can't tell you how many times I've looked up and I've seen one of two things recently at Baum Stadium. I've seen empty seats behind home plate, or I have seen those seats filled with people from Florida or LSU or, insert opponent here. How does this happen?
Going along with the restructuring, my grandma had season tickets to the football game for like 20, 30 years. And she passed away back in 2014, I think. She passed away. Instead of, they passed along the opportunity to buy the season tickets. I think this was under Jeff Long. They said, oh, well, you're going to have to fill out a new registration and
start over.
And you're going to have to start over. She had 2 in the lower bowl and 2 in the upper bowl. And we were on the west side. Yeah, west side. But, that's issue number 1 I have. So, first off, you're taking a family that's had tickets literally for 30 years and just throwing them to the wolves saying, go, yourself. Mm-hmm. And then now, and let's go back to the Hawg Pen and Baum Stadium's atmosphere, quote unquote. I remember growing up, going and sitting in left field for tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of games. You know what the left field fans' job was the entire game was to mess with that left fielder at all times. Because guess what? That's when the Hawg Pen really started. And they would just start just chirping. I remember that the left fielders, there was a left fielder who put his hand in his pocket. Well, the fans started yelling, take your hand out your pocket, and then put it back in. And just going back and forth with these guys. Just mind games the entire time. Now the Hawg Pen is just a social event. And now it doesn't even matter if you're going there to cheer the game or not. You're just going there to be seen at this point. Make a dang difference to this team. Show your heart and cheer on the Hogs. And then guess what? You have that whole daggum bullpen right there. You know how much chirping? There was a video that went viral. Clemson went to go play some team.
Coastal Carolina.
Coastal Carolina. What are they? They're not even ranked.
They're Sunbelt.
But their fans are sitting there just chirping the bullpen. After you get chirped that hard, you think you're going to go out there and throw your best? Or you're probably just going to have that mental defeat. And
here's okay. Let me jump in here. D, take a breath. Here's the thing. Okay, D, take a breath. Come on now. Here's
I'm pissed off.
Hey, we all are at this point. We all are. But here's the thing. Okay, and then we're gonna get the wise man in here because he wants to chirp in for the first time. Here's the thing. All these naysayers and these so-called fans, and I'm going to call them so-called fans. If you're pissed off, guess what? Get over it. Come at me. Okay? If you're pissed off because I'm calling you out, go ahead. Come at me. I don't care. Okay? But here's the thing. Okay? Everybody says, well, put seats out there or, put more chair backs or put things, here's the thing. If you do that, number one, ticket prices are going to go up because how else are you going to pay for the damn thing? Okay. Number two, we all know how Hunter Yurachek is. He's not going to put anything out there in place of anything without a suite attached to it. And that's going to drive up prices even more. Okay. Because I remember in days, just a few years ago, Hawg Pen prices were like $10, $12.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't like that no more. They're not like that anymore. All right. I want to get the Dan.
Use code Inside the Hog Pen on SeatGeek to buy the tickets now.
First time users. I want to get a Dan's comment. D-Mad, don't put it up there because it's a paragraph and you're going to disappear from the screen. He says, to me, a national championship will never mean the same as it did in 1994 because you don't get a chance to know them. They're just here for a year, and then they go chase the money. They don't care about me or the Razorbacks, and I don't care about them. Now, baseball is a little different because you never hear about money when it comes to baseball. So I feel like that's the only sport that I could really get behind and feel the same way as I did in 94. Here's the and
that's a hell of a point. That's a really good point.
It's a good point. It's a good point. However, the reason you don't hear about money in baseball is because their NIL stuff is a completely different animal.
And they're not getting paid near as much.
And they're not getting paid.
Right.
And DVH doesn't let them say and go out there and talk about it. Okay? They don't. All right? But when you've got fans deliberately going on social media, dogging this team, dogging the
hoping they lose.
We're not going to get to football yet. But you call yourself a fan, but you're hoping and you're cheering for the failure of a football coach. I've seen people say, "Oh, DVH is washed up." You need to be slapped. Get out of go touch some grass and get out of your mama's basement. Okay.
I think there's reason for concern with the baseball program right now because of the standard that has been set. But to say that he's washed, I mean, that's just ridiculous.
Let's go to the wise man and let him get some words in. Loki, what you got, buddy?
Okay, so going back to the whole point about like the Hawg Pen is just for the students, right?
Okay.
So how dare we like leave tickets unsold? These are the same fans that are going on talking about like, I donate. Do you? You know, like
that
got me.
A double standard and like bipolarness in this fan base. It's unreal. I mean, like the people who are cheering for teams to lose are the ones who last year were talking about billboards were hurting feelers. Okay, this is ridiculous. We need to stop.
Barstool ranked Arkansas as one of the most toxic fan bases, and I agree.
Here's the thing.
Well, but okay. So on the Barstool thing, you got to take it with a grain of salt because that Brandon Walker is a big Mississippi State fan, and he's about the most toxic person in sports media. So
here's the thing.
I'm not saying I completely disagree with him, but you have to remember who this is coming from.
Yeah, you gotta consider the source. But here's the thing. All right, and I just thought about this analogy because Loki made a good point. I donate. Do you? Okay, so you're basically saying that if you don't donate, you don't get a voice. Just like
where? Okay, so
wait. So you're basically saying we're following the guidelines of voting for a president. If you didn't vote, you don't get an opinion. But yet you live in a free country where there's free speech. So if you don't donate, you don't get an opinion to bitch and complain. I don't think so, Scooter.
Where does that mindset come from? The mindset of, well, I donate $10,000 a year. If you don't donate that much, then you just need to shut up. Where does that come from? That comes from the leadership. That comes
the fish rots from the head down.
Yes. Yeah. That is, what's the line in Remember the Titans? Attitude reflects leadership.
Attitude reflects leadership. Yeah.
That comes that mindset of, well, you're not a real fan because you don't ... That comes from the athletic administration, and that is the backbone of the disconnect between the athletic admin and the real fans. I'm using my air quotes if you're listening to this on the podcast version, and people like us who are not real fans because we don't have the money to hand over year after year after year.
All right, we're gonna take hold on. We're gonna take a break. And on the other side of the break, we're going to talk about what it takes and what it means to be a real fan. For those of you that are listening, I also use the air quotes because according to some, there's a division in the fan base, and we'll jump more into that. You're listening to Inside the Hog Pen, coming right back.
Mix Design is your one-stop shop for custom clothing with a personal touch. At Mix Design, we can help you tell your story through your wardrobe. Your imagination on a hat, shirt, pullover, or nearly anything wearable. And while you're picking out some custom clothing, check out the one-of-a-kind handmade soaps from the Bobcat Soap Company. Find us on Facebook and let us create custom swag just for you at Mix Design.
Hey, Hawg Fanatics. We at Inside The Hog Pen are thrilled to announce that SeatGeek is now a sponsor. As brand ambassadors, we're excited to share SeatGeek as a ticket app that simplifies the ticket buying process for all your favorite events. They provide a 0 to 10 score for each ticket, with green indicating a good deal and red indicating a not so good deal. As a special offer, Hawg Fanatics can get $20 off their first ticket purchase by using the code Inside Hog Pen. Check out our socials for the link, and remember to use the code Inside Hog Pen.
Attention Razorback fans and local businesses. Are you ready to reach the most passionate Arkansas sports fans out there? Introducing Inside the Hog Pen, not your normal Razorback talk show. We're fans first and don't try to hide it. No agendas, no propaganda. At Inside the Hog Pen, we call it like we see it. And now we're looking for sponsors to join the team. This is your chance to put your brand in front of thousands of loyal Razorback fans who live and breathe Arkansas sports. From small businesses to major brands, we have sponsorship packages tailored just for you. So let's grow together and make Inside the Hog Pen bigger and better. Don't miss out. Call 501-416-4331 or email us today at insidethehogpen@gmail.com and become a proud sponsor of Inside the Hog Pen.
It's time to step back inside the Hog Pen to the Mix Design Studios.
All right, welcome back to Inside the Hog Pen. Okay, so as we continue the state of the hog, I want to make sure it's clear that fans, if you guys got questions, comments, or you want to bring the smoke to us, leave us a question, comment, tell us what you like, tell us what you don't like in the Cam Productions live fan feedback. And while we're at it, go over to Cam Productions on your favorite podcast channel and check out the final jump shot brought to you by this man over here to my right, my left, whichever direction you're watching from, and check them out. Okay, so as we continue here and we're bringing the heat, it's now time to differentiate and get the problem out there amongst the fans and kind of tell what it means in certain aspects of what it means to be a real fan versus a average fan. And for that, I'm going to turn it over to D-Mad. D-Mad, take it away, man.
Hello. I'm your boy D-Mad, as you can tell. Guys, it's been a hell of a week. We've gone through the voice of the Razorbacks telling us we're all stupid. We've gone through a stupid AI image debacle. Now, we sit here and then the second voice of the Razorbacks comes in and tells us we're all crazy for freaking out about calling us crazy. So I think it is about time that we as fans sit here and we take a moment to kind of reflect on ourselves. There's only one way we can actually do this and do this properly. I, myself, as you can probably tell, I prefer to do it with a cold one. So with that being said, let's take a look at ourselves in the mirror as fans and realize how toxic we can be. MC, What happened on Twitter?
Well, which time?
You know what? I'll kick it off.
Okay. All right.
So, I'm at my work. I see that I can jump on Twitter. And by the way, I'm a truck driver. I don't have a lot of phone time at work. So, I see that our best softball player decides that, called her Barry Bonds earlier in the year, had the former Queen of Bomb on our show 2 days prior.
Yeah, literally come on our show and pass the crown over to her.
So, we're in a really good mood about the softball team. We've had a former softball player on, making great the comparison to the best hitter of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if you say Hank Aaron. I don't care if you say Babe Ruth. Barry Bonds is the greatest hitter of all time, and we're comparing one of our own to him.
Nationally comparing it to.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants to pitch to her.
No.
The SEC decided Bree Ellis obviously is the best player in the conference. Okay. So while we're trying to do our deliveries, taking a lunch, let's see if we can get an image put together that's kind of unique. It's our own. We do our own thing over here. We just try to have fun with it. Call her the queen of Boggle.
Bogle.
Yeah, we're trying to have fun. Well, it's one of those things. Danged if you do, danged if you don't. Some people like to tell you, you don't support the softball team. You don't give them enough airtime. You don't do this. You don't do that. So then we do it. All of a sudden, it decides to blow up on us. We have a loud minority. And let me say that again. A loud minority of fans, air quotes, fans, that say we're not celebrating these girls in the right way. We're not doing this. We're not doing that. That girl doesn't look like her. When I'm not going to say who did it, but somebody that was, I'll say close to the softball program, posted the exact same picture without the AI editing. But yet,
Here's the problem, though, if I could interject.
Go ahead.
The whole point, and this is the thing about social media, is that anybody can hide behind a keyboard. All right. We were trying to show appreciation. The only thing you guys could bitch about was the quality of the photograph.
Not only was it that,
like
people that we are close to, people that we consider as friends,
were leading the charge. I mean, they were on the front line with swords drawn, leading the charge as to how, I guess, I don't even know how to describe it.
The sport doesn't get enough attention.
But then when we give it attention, it's like, no, you're not doing it right. So, I mean, you can't win.
And it really just deters you from those people, honestly. It makes you almost not want to go out and cover one of the sports whenever you get that type of attention. Yeah. And we're going to continue to cover the softball team. Don't get us wrong. We love the softball team. We love every Arkansas athletic program that there's there.
Even football.
We'll celebrate the golf team, Little John Daly. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing, and it goes back to what we were talking about before the break. You have these fans who think because they've been fans for 30, 40, 50 years versus the kids of this generation who are now coming into being a fan, that they think they're a bigger fan than these guys. Okay? Here's a good example. Okay? Here's a good example. MC, if I may use you as a hypothetical.
Bring it,
my friend. MC is the oldest one of the group by like 8, 9.
A lot.
All right. Well, you're not that old, much older than us. But here's the thing. He knows more about Razorback basketball. All right. Than I do. D-Mad down here knows more about Razorback baseball than I do. Now, we all kind of share in the football thing. But does that make him a bigger fan of basketball than me?
No.
D-Mad knows more about baseball than me. Does that make him a bigger fan? No, it doesn't. They're fans just like I am. What I'm trying to get at here, guys, and this is not a bitch fest for the three of us. Okay, this is an open forum for the fans, for every fan, because guess what? If Dummy up in Northwest Arkansas can claim to be the voice of the Razorbacks, I'm the voice of Razorback Nation. All right. They don't call me the loudest mouth in the fan base for nothing. And that's not just a self title. That's not just a title I gave myself. I've had several people tell me that.
And I'll kind of push back real quick because, you know, Zach, you do something that's very unique. Every single game when there's a hog call, what do? There's a button for it.
Louder.
I got it.
Get it, baby.
So Zach will sit there. I don't care where you're sitting. You might be sitting right next to him and have your eardrums blown out from him yelling louder in the middle of the hog call. Zach has shared the story as to why. Zach, I love you. It irritates me sometimes, not going to lie. But I'm not going to tell you that because you've shared the story about it. And who am I to tell you up here how to be a Hog fan? Who am I to tell you that? I'm not going to let you howl in the hog call, though.
I swear to God, if anybody,
we will shut that down. We will shut that down.
I will roast you if I hear you howl in a hog call. But that is how I do my fandom. And guess what? I've been called out on Twitter for it. Okay, some nitwit decided to freaking tweet at John Williams about it. We don't need somebody to tell us to be louder. We've been doing it for hundreds of years. Guess what? John Williams goes, okay, and let them.
Hey, can we kick into the comment section? I'm getting roasted today, apparently. If you noticed, I've kind of moved to the side.
Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute there, Mickey.
Yeah. Royalty has said that I am looking like Mickey Mouse today with the beer hats. Thank you, Casey. Appreciate it. Now I'm having to sit at the side, so fantastic. And then also getting roasted by Dan. He's disappointed me that it's a root beer. Listen,
we don't drink on here, Dan.
Well, also, I have a personal thing going on. As y'all know, my wife is pregnant. Me and my buddies have challenged ourselves to stay sober until October. We're also challenging ourselves to go running. And so that is why it is not an actual beer right now.
There you go.
And then Eric Jernigan talks about keyboard warriors in the age of the internet. Those unhappy souls have found an outlet to crap on anything and everything. And I could not agree more.
Yeah.
Hey, D-Man, real quick, let me shout out one of our new fans. Amy is in the watching from our YouTube channel. My girl Amy, for those of you that don't know, she is laughing her butt off right now because she is a Texas fan watching the pen. So
happy enough to say it.
Welcome to the show.
Hands down. That's my girl Amy. She is she's loving the commentary. But here's the thing, guys, and it all goes back to, you know, I scream louder during a hog call. Okay, so what? Okay, after every home run, after every score, we fly flags in the hog pen, and y'all want to take that away? Because I guarantee you, you put students in there, they're not going to wave those flags. They're not.
I will give a shout out to John Neighbors, the last part of the student section that's ever been anything special.
Yes.
Yeah, I would agree with that wholeheartedly. And and to back up to the whole mantra of stupid people thing, that was a direct shot from arguably the biggest, most financially supported show in the state to an independent media group being led by Neighbors. That was a direct shot at him. And if you're setting up in the ivory tower in the high chair where, let's face it, those two guys sit, why do you need to punch to people that you feel like are below you? I think the problem is that they see that John's independent thing is catching on, and more fans are going to watch him rather than listen to the propaganda coming straight out of the athletic department. I mean, so it was just uncalled for, unprofessional. But let's not forget, this is also the same guy that back in 2006 referred to a section of the fan base as terrorists.
Yep. But wait, why did they do that, MC?
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. If you remember all of the drama that surrounded the 2006 football season, and I don't have to go into it and recap it, because if you remember it, you remember it. And it all tied into that. You had Team Springdale and you had Team Nut. And if you were not on Team Nut, you were deemed to be a terrorist to the football program. And he can deny it and spin it all he wants. But I remember, this is not a Mandela effect here. I'm not making this up. This happened. And it wasn't long after that sports rap went away.
Well, here's the thing. All right. Who would you rather? Okay. All right. No, I'm not going to make that analogy because I could open myself up for some crazy things. Who would you rather?
And I'll say, well, let me say one more thing, because we did recently have John Neighbors on the show. Appreciate him coming on. He didn't have to do it, but he did. What do you think would happen if we reached out to the other one to see if he would come on the show?
I already have, and it got ignored.
Either that or he texts us back saying LOL.
I'm not, well,
but here's the thing. Okay.
If you make a donation to the NIL program, maybe I'll come on your show.
But here's the thing. Okay. Here's the problem with all of this. All right. There are people in the Hawg Pen that enjoy it, that are there for the game, that jaw with the opposing fan base.
Oh, that's it's the whole
point of the Hawg Pen. Okay.
Last time I went to a game, we set out in the Hawg Pen. It was a midweek game, so it wasn't the Hawg Pen at full power. Okay. But there was still enough there that we got to experience it.
It still bodes the question, though, MC. It still bodes the question. All right. Have we fallen so far off that now we're fighting amongst we're imploding as a fan base?
Yeah, we kind of are.
People wonder why. People wonder why we are not taken seriously.
Okay. Wait. I've got to jump in here.
I'm going to lie. It scared the crap out of me. I forgot he was there.
So we've got to get past this mentality of you're not a real fan. You haven't been a fan for 1,000 years. You're not a real fan. You don't donate $1 bajillion to NIL. You're not a fan. You're not featured on ESPN. Okay. We've got to get past that, because all that is gatekeeping and alienating people, and that's driving people away from the fan base. And soon we're going to have people playing in empty stadiums, and we won't be able to recruit anybody. And all the people who are wishing our team to lose, they're going to get their wish.
Wait, hold on. Here's the thing. Okay. You can have, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I probably am, because I'm not the smartest turtle in the crayon box. All right. You can have all the NIL money in the world. I saw the look, Dave. You can have all the money in NIL money in the world, but if you can't recruit anything better than a 3-star JUCO player, it's not going to matter.
Isaac Tesla, Andrew Armstrong.
There are diamonds in the rough. Okay, there are.
Okay, who? Oh, I lost his name. Who was the receiver we got from Oklahoma? Mike Woods trade. He was a nation's #1 wide receiver coming out of high school.
Yeah, I can't remember his name now, but I know who you're talking about. Somebody put it in the comments. Somebody will know who we're talking about.
I want to. Yep, we're going to talk about it. Skillet Hands himself,
Tyrone Broden.
He was a high 4, low 5-star. He gets onto the transfer portal. Guess what? He comes here. You know the rest.
Yeah.
He was not drafted. He was recruited here based on his measurables. He wasn't recruited here based on this. Guess what? Andrew Armstrong, Hazelwood. Yep, there it is.
Thank you, Eric.
Yeah.
Andrew Armstrong, he played for the Razorbacks. He was a Razorback. Tesla, even though he didn't do anything, he could have transferred. He almost went to go play for Prime. He was very close to that. He came to Arkansas. He played off the bench all year because he knew it didn't matter. He was a part of a team here. But guess what? He was able to put himself into a position to get drafted. I don't want to hear this JUCO crap. I don't, because some of our best players in the recent years have been JUCO players.
That may be true, but are JUCO players going to come play in an empty stadium?
Nope. They're definitely not going to come play when the student section is half full.
Yeah. That's the whole point of them trying to get out of JUCO is to go somewhere and play where they can play in front of people.
I'm going to he disappeared. Look at that. Casey says, we moved here when I was 8. I've been a huge fan ever since and always will be. If I could, I would be at every game regardless of the sport because of my love for the Hogs. Showing never-ending support forever. I will never be a fair weather fan. There are too many of those. There are. Some of you guys that are bitching right now, about the state of the program, the minute we start winning or, God forbid, get to Omaha or the Final Four are the same ones that are going, yeah, we're going to win the national title. I always knew we would.
Absolutely they are. Good Lord. I have a strong dislike. I'm not going to use the 4-letter H word for people.
Hey, I will. You have a
strong dislike for certain people that, just feel like, the world revolves around them, and if Arkansas wins 4 games next year, they need to fire Pittman. I'm rooting for them to win 2 games, so they'll fire Pittman. Who are you going to get? Let's first off, who are you going to get? Because at this point,
I can answer that. It's the answer is simple, D-Mad. Bobby Petrino.
The guy at A-State?
No, Bobby Petrino. Oh. He's the coach in waiting, remember? They brought him in because he's the coach in waiting. It's going to come
How did Missouri State end out?
He didn't come here to be the coach in waiting, y'all. Get the hell over it.
Well, and the way things are right now, who would want to be a head coach and have to deal with constantly 24/7, 365 having to recruit guys that are on your team so they don't get mad and take their ball and go home? I mean, who would want that? Right now, the role that he's in, he can go, he can work with quarterbacks, he can scheme offenses, which is, let's face it, I mean, call the dude what you will, but he's one of the best play callers and one of the best offensive minds in the game. When he's got the tools to work with, he can make magic happen. But he's never going to sit in the head coaching position at the University of Arkansas ever again.
He doesn't want to be
the offensive coordinator. No, and I can't blame anybody that doesn't want to be a head coach right now. But the whole thing of and if you are familiar with our show at all, you know my feelings on Pittman. I don't think he should be here this year. I think he should have been fired last year. We're 7-17 in the last 3 years in conference play, and the only people that seem to be bothered by it are fans. As much as I want him gone,
5 years, 30 and 31 in 5 years.
Yeah, as much as I want him gone, I'm not going to openly root for the team that I claim to be my favorite team to lose.
Give you an idea here, guys, about where Pittman is and where Arkansas is compared to some of the other coaches that were hired the same year he was.
Oh, I got a good one.
Wait. Lane Kiffin, for example. Lane Kiffin,
my boy Lane.
Okay. And then you've got the dork in Missouri. Same year as Pittman, and they're both doing immensely better. Now, I'm not saying Pittman is a bad dude. I've met him several times. I said this Friday. I've met him several times. He's a good dude.
I'd go to the horse track with him. I'd share a cold one with him.
If I was drunk,
but he's just not getting it done.
Yeah. Pitt's a good guy. Get the good old boy, Coach Cold Beer and all that. But I mean, like, that doesn't change the fact that the only magic he's bringing to this team is a copy of Polar Express. Okay.
There you go.
Got Zach on that one.
That was almost a noser.
And that's why we call him the wise man, because he brings the facts.
I hate you.
Well, and if you remember when Pittman came in, what was Pittman known for as a offensive line coach? He was known as a recruiter.
Yeah.
That was messed up.
He got players in his first couple of years, but also, if you remember Chad Morris, I'm going to say his name. I'm going to say his name because I'm about to give him credit, and y'all are about to blow your mind.
No, I know where you're going, and I'm with you.
He could sell. I don't know what.
He could sell ice to an Eskimo.
He could sell a ketchup popsicle to a woman wearing white gloves.
That dude got recruits here.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all remember a guy? I don't know. He was kind of good here. His name was what was it? Traylon Burks. Y'all know him? Y'all know he was a 4-star, right?
Yeah,
he was a 4-star. But you know why he was only a 4-star? It's because, his family didn't have the money to go to all these special camps, right? Or he would have been a consensus 5-star number 1 wide receiver in.
I got 2 more guys.
Okay, hold on. He would have been the consensus number 1 wide receiver in the nation. And guess what? He was about this close to going to Clemson, but I think his grandma got into bad health. And then he was like, okay, I'm going to stay close to my grandma. And now, Pittman was able to bring in Rocket Sanders, or was that another Chad Morris recruit? That might have been another Chad Morris.
Premature detonation.
I will go look at that and see.
Well, he had KJ Jefferson already on the roster.
I got 2 more guys that you haven't mentioned yet. Okay. Grant Morgan, Bumper Pool. We're both Chad Morris guys.
Grant Morgan was a heart. That's what he was.
He was still a Chad Morris dude.
Yeah. Grant Morgan, I don't think, was a very highly rated player coming out.
No,
did he not start out as a walk-on?
He started as a walk-on. He's the Burlsworth winner.
Yeah.
And that's what I was going with was, Chad Morris had high caliber recruits coming in. And Grant Morgan was a walk-on, like we're saying. And so Grant Morgan played for the name on the front,
Yeah.
He's a Greenwood boy, whatever. He understands what he was playing for. He was a hometown kid, and face facts, Chad Morris was lucky that Grant Morgan was there. But also, the defenses weren't that good with Chad Morris.
Well, hell, the nothing was good about Chad Morris.
Yeah, but what is good? Eric's comment.
I was just
everything about Dorkowicz makes me want to punch him in the face. Him being successful at Missouri is a never-ending source of aggravation for me.
But I mean, I don't understand the stigma of I'm a bigger fan than you. I'm right, you're wrong. I'm smart, you're dumb.
Well, and so who am I to tell anybody else how to fan? I mean, who is somebody else to tell me, oh, you're not a real fan? Dude, you don't know what I invest. You don't understand that I'm literally a walking billboard for the university anytime I go somewhere. I've always got something on that's Razorback.
Wait a second. Hold on. My name's not Razorback Zach for nothing. It's in the name.
To be fair, I think MC's got y'all beat because he reps the team behind enemy lines. I'm just saying.
All right, so Rocket Sanders, he was a freshman in the 2021 season. So Pittman gets credit for that one.
That was a good. That wasn't. No, the running back during Morris was
the quitter.
He wore number 5 too.
Mr. Last Chance You.
Yeah.
Rakeem Boyd.
There it is.
Yeah.
The first player to disgrace the number 5 jersey as a running back. Mm-hmm. And then Rocket Sanders proceeded to take. Never mind.
But at the same time, look, I get it. Okay. We don't have a pro team. Okay. All right. The closest thing we've got to a pro team is, well, soon to be the Hot Springs Wise Guys, which, by the way, go check them out down in Hot Springs. Season starts in just a few days on May 31st. You've got the Travelers. You've got the Naturals. You've got the Little Rock Rangers. You don't have a pro football team. Okay. And I get that. The Razorbacks are the end all be all when it comes to sports in the state of Arkansas. So why in the hell are we so divided as a fan base? Why?
Because I think there's a section of fans that are probably true in thinking this. And Dan said it earlier without saying it. He cares more than the players do. And I feel like I care more than the players do sometimes. But at the same time,
I have felt that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I told y'all about my first year here, Arkansas played Tennessee in basketball. And absolutely just, it was like average Joes that went onto the court that night. Mm-hmm. And I told y'all, it's like, I felt disgraced or disrespected by wasting my time watching that game.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? After that team was gone the next year. Guess why? Because they don't care about Arkansas.
Let's pause for a minute and catch our breaths and take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we're going to continue our discussion of the state of the hog. You're listening to Inside the Hog Pen. Back right after this.
Attention Razorback fans and local businesses. Are you ready to reach the most passionate Arkansas sports fans out there? Introducing Inside the Hog Pen. Not your normal Razorback talk show. We're fans first and don't try to hide it. No agendas, no propaganda. At Inside the Hog Pen, we call it like we see it. And now we're looking for sponsors to join the team. This is your chance to put your brand in front of thousands of loyal Razorback fans who live and breathe Arkansas sports. From small businesses to major brands, we have sponsorship packages tailored just for you. So let's grow together and make Inside the Hog Pen bigger and better. Don't miss out. Call 501-416-4331 or email us today at insidethehogpen@gmail.com and become a proud sponsor of Inside the Hog Pen.
All right, welcome back to Inside the Hog Pen. Final segment here on this Wednesday night. That's almost a Thursday because I'm not used to it. Programming update, Thursday, Friday, Saturday series to wrap up the regular season for Arkansas against Tony Vitello and the Tennessee.
I can't believe the regular season's over, man. I mean, it feels like it just blew by.
Yeah, here's the thing. We have to win this series if we have any chance at hosting. We lose this series. We lose the series. We won't host.
Well, and I think that's.
I'd love to see all these Twitter warriors jump out of the woodwork saying how bad we suck because we can't host. Y'all sound
I will say this too. This series is not just big for Arkansas because Tennessee has been struggling by the standard that Vitello has set. They have been struggling as well. I believe they've lost 4 of their last 5 series. And so I think it's a very fair statement to say coming into this weekend, whoever loses this series, you're going to host regional, but you're not going to be a top 8 where you could host a super regional. You're going to have to go on the road for the super if you get there.
I mean, I would love to see the Twitter warriors come out of the woodwork about how washed up Dave Van Horn is and how he needs to retire and how we need to get Tony Vitello back to Arkansas and how he's the coach in waiting and all of this other stuff.
I'm gonna say this again. I said it last week. I'm gonna say it again. This is May 14th, 8:23 p.m. Tony Vitello is going to be the Gus Malzahn of baseball. His name is going to come up anytime there's a possibility, but he will never be the head coach of the baseball program.
Next coach is going to be Bobby Warnes. You've heard it here first.
I think so. I think it's him or Thompson, one or the other.
I think it's Wes Johnson out of Georgia.
This fan base is going to explode.
I would attempt to do a backflip if Wes Johnson was the guy to replace Dave.
Here's the thing. I don't hate Razorback Nation. I'm the voice of Razorback Nation. I was told that the other day. All right. I'm the loudest mouth in the fan base. We needed tonight because I don't hear many podcasts or many radio stations doing what we do here. Love it, leave it, hate it, or love it. Doesn't matter to us because we're going to keep doing what we do. All right. We're going to keep doing what we do. I've done it for almost 9 years now. MC and I have been together almost 4, 5?
Almost, yeah.
All right. It's just, look, we do the State of the Hog every year. All right.
Came a little quicker this year than last year, but that's beside the point.
Here's the thing. I want to point out something. Where's all the Twitter warriors? Where's everybody that has stuff to say on Twitter? Why aren't they in here? Our show's being broadcast on Twitter. We know people see it.
Oh, I want to call names. So bad.
You know, I realize that when you put yourself out there in a platform like we do, there's always going to be somebody that complains and has a problem with what you're doing. I mean, I'm just going to go full disclosure right now. The whole AI picture thing, knowing our intent behind it, really fired me up and really just outright ticked me off, because for so long, all I hear is, hey, y'all gotta show the softball girls some love. Show them some love. And then we make the extra effort to not only lead off last week's show and devote half the show strictly to softball. And I thought we had a great segment there. We had one of the biggest names in softball history for Razorbacks come on. God bless her for doing so. She was enthusiastic. I texted her when her segment was over and said, thank you so much. That was awesome. She's willing to come back and do it anytime. You know, nobody notices that we did that. All they can point out is say, oh my God, your picture's horrible. AI was not needed here and all this. Well, you know what? I'm sorry we don't all have Photoshop at our disposal 24/7. We were trying to get something out there to give somebody their flowers who outright deserved it. You know, there's no doubt that she's arguably the best softball player in the country, not just at Arkansas, not just the SEC. She's very likely to win National Player of the Year. We were trying to give flowers. We were trying to give flowers, give her due. That was the quickest way we could figure out to get something out there and make it look unique, and we get crucified for it, you know, and then you wonder why that sport does not get more attention than it does. All right, I'm done now.
I've changed my name. I'm going to start being the AI editor in chief. I'm going to steer into it, bro. I'm just going to steer into it. I hope I piss every single one of y'all off. I really hope I do. When she becomes National Player of the Year, oh, y'all are going to be so pissed. And I'm going to be. Go ahead.
And here's and to steal Zach's line, here's the thing. We're doing it to show appreciation for the player. You know, we're not making fun of her. We're not trying to disrespect her or her accomplishments in any shape, form, or fashion. It is done so with the best of intentions.
Here's the thing. All right. I'm going to let y'all in on a little bit of inside baseball. Shut up, Loki. For the better part of 5 months, we have kind of towed the line a little bit with the fan base, with the programs, tried to play it evenly. All right. Because we're fans first and don't try to hide it. That's part of our tagline. And y'all crap on it. All right. You crapped on it this weekend. All right. You crap on each other. And I don't understand it. So y'all want to keep pouring gasoline. The three of us, now 4, are going to hold the match.
Listen, I got one thing to say.
Y'all want something to fight about? We're going to give you something to fight about. All right.
I've got time. That's all I got to say. You want to do some stupid stuff on Twitter? Ask my family how petty I can be. I've got time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, and for those of you that are WWE fans, this is our heel turn.
Okay, here's the thing. So here's continuing the WWE thing. Here's the pipe bomb. Okay. First off, hello to our new fan. We hope we hooked you. Let's see what I did there.
Well done. Well done.
Attaboy, Loki. Attaboy.
I remember when I first came onto this show, no, we didn't talk about women's sports a lot. We didn't. Just like the majority of other podcasts about Razorbacks out there, we talked about the big three: baseball, football, and basketball, because that's what sells. We decided collectively, yeah, we need to give these other sports some shine and love too. I don't see a lot of y'all call in for more golf coverage, but we give them flowers too. Okay.
And we're going to do it less monotone.
Yeah, exactly. This is the Hawg Pen. We don't huddle up. We get out and we get louder. All right. So we went out there and we made the effort to promote the other teams as well. And yeah, maybe we put out an AI photo because, we suck at Photoshop. Okay. Yeah. First off, I guarantee you everybody hearing this and everybody that commented on that post has an AI photo somewhere on their profile somewhere. Pot, kettle black, all that. Furthermore,
hey, doesn't Instagram have filters? Just wondering.
Now, furthermore, and this is the most important part, and this is the detonation of the pipe bomb. Was the picture AI? Sure, but you know what's not AI? Our passion and love for this team and for all of the players and all of it surrounding it. But that's the thing. You wouldn't know that if you're not here to see it.
I mean,
Preach.
yeah, exactly. And he's right though. Okay. I mean, sports is what we do here. Razorback sports is what we do. It's a continual buffet of crap from y'all though.
Don't say
right. But that's the thing. We try to do something that appeases to the fan base and y'all crap all over it. There's a certain section of it that craps all over it because they think Sister Bertha better than you is a bigger fan. We're all fans of the same damn program, whether we like it or not. Okay? You want to gripe and edit point, you want to bitch and complain about the program? Don't go to the games. Don't sit in the Hawg Pen. Don't go to Budwalt. You want to make a statement? Don't put it on Twitter. Show Hunter Yurachek in this Atlanta athletic department that we're taking a stand.
Oh, I think you're going to see just that starting September 7th in football, not the 6th when the game is the next day.
Oh, look at you.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
Start something.
Hold on a minute. Amy on our YouTube page says, tell them to get their panties out of a wad. And then Marvin Wilson says, don't start drinking the haterade, talking to us. We're not trying to drink that.
I have a thing I want these fans, air quotes, to start doing. If you're going to show up to the game and you're going to be happy that we lose, start wearing black shirts. At some point, that message will get across that, yes, we're fans. Yes, we'll come to the game, but we are not supportive of this right now. If you get, let's just take Razorback Stadium, 80,000 now? If you start sprinkling in, probably about, probably 1,000 black shirts. If they get down to about 3 weeks left in the season, they're still at 4 wins, you will probably see closer to about 20,000 black shirts. And that's going to really prove a point to Hunter Yurachek. If you really wanted to do something like that.
Here's the thing. It took 2 years for Chad Morris to empty out Razorback Stadium, where he literally only had about maybe 5,000 or less in the stands. All right. They were giving tickets away.
So they kind of looked like the student section at the Ole Miss game?
Yes.
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much.
Oh.
Yeah. You want to make a statement. All right. And to wrap this all up and to put a bow on this, yes, social media can be used as freedom of speech. But here's the thing. All right. We ranted on y'all all so long. All right. Now I'm going to put a positive spin on it like a father does. MC got that. Dylan, you'll catch on to that in a couple of years.
I got about 5 more months.
Here's the thing. You want to make a statement? Don't make it on Twitter. Don't make it on Facebook. Damn sure don't put it on Instagram, because nobody of power looks at it, or they'll look at it and not care. You want to make a statement. You want to make a statement. Do it from the stands.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't go. Just don't go. It's that simple. You want to make a statement.
Only way the point's going to get through.
You want to make a statement, because here's the thing. You can gripe and complain, but you're still going to go to the sport. You want a coach fired, but you're still going to go to the game. You're still putting money into the program. It's all about money now. NIL it's all about money now.
It's all about the money, Lebowski. Where's the money, Lebowski?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And
you want to make a statement. Make it from the stands. Don't make it on Twitter.
Yeah, make it with your wallet. Don't buy the tickets if you're wanting to, because that's the only way you're going to see change, because the mindset that has been put out there by the athletic administration is that being in the black, bringing in the money is the only thing that matters. If they happen to win some games along the way, they're treating it like icing on the cake. But their number one priority is to keep the money flowing in. And they have made it obvious.
I'll go you one better than that. If you really want to drive home the point that, like, you want a coach gone or you want something to change, don't just stop going to the games. Stop buying the merch. And most importantly, shut off your auto draft to NIL. That'll drive the point home in a heartbeat.
I'll go one further. This is a nuclear option. Don't renew your season tickets.
And you've had some people do that because of the and it goes back to the whole thing of making it the corporate, pinky out dinner party, because of the way ticket prices have been increased.
Here's the thing, and as we're wrapping up here, all right, and I'll be the voice of reason for the moment. There has become such a disconnect between the fan base and the athletic department that the fan base itself is starting to fracture even worse against each other. Like I keep saying, You want to make a statement, just stop going.
Yep.
Just stop going.
You know how easy it is to please our fans?
Just win, baby, win.
Win.
Outside of anything that happens on the court, on the field, our fans were over the moon excited this year for basketball before any shot was ever taken by putting a logo onto the floor. Just listen to the dang fans. The fans are the ones.
The one time I have contributed to whatever they're calling it now, the NIL collective, you know what it was that got me to send in the money I sent in? Is putting that logo. Yeah, putting that logo at half court.
I would just like to say, before they did it, I was the one that called that, by the way. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Did.
There is video footage of that.
Yep, there's video evidence of it.
Let's go to the Camp Productions live fan feedback and talk to our boy Sam, who has not been. Where you been, dude? Where you been? Says, I don't believe Razor's Edge distinguishes between football and basketball when auto drafting. Don't hurt Cal to spite Pittman.
Amy, stop it.
No. Please let me have that one in a minute. We'll get to that one in just a second. But I want to say that it does. I think you can distinguish when you're signing up for Razor's Edge, if I remember right, MC?
The one time I sent mine in, it gave me an option of where I wanted to send the money.
Okay.
Now, it wasn't an auto draft or anything like that. It was just a one-time deal.
Yeah.
The auto draft may be different. I don't know.
But I mean,
on your taxes.
I'm not a real fan. I don't contribute to the collective, so I wouldn't know.
Right. Now let's get to this comment.
Yeah, look, I appreciate you coming in and being a part of the show for the first time ever, but no.
Listen,
Look.
red agrees with my skin tone. Orange doesn't.
Love my girl to death. I appreciate her being part of the show.
God bless her for coming in and listening to us complain tonight. But
There ain't no way on God's green earth on this beautiful globe I will cheer for anything Texas.
no,
If I may quote the great poet and philosopher, don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
All right. Final thoughts as we get out of here. MC, we'll start with you.
Congratulations to Brie Ellis. She is officially a top 10 finalist for National Player of the Year. I think she should win it. I think it's, in my opinion, it should go to her. And I don't claim to be a softball fan of any kind, but to see the numbers that she has put up is generational level talent, and she needs to be rewarded for it.
MC, D-Mad, sorry.
Oh, I'm not bald.
I mean,
Is that because you AI generated some hair?
Listen, I will change my tagline on everything to say AI editor in chief. I am not afraid. Twitter, do it. I dare you. I've got time. That's it.
All right, wise man, your first final thoughts.
All right. So understand, tonight kind of rolled out, sounded a little negative, a little grumbly, all that. And it was. But to go off the father thing, the dad thing that Zach brought up, it hurt us more than it hurt you. Okay. But we did this.
Yes.
How did I know that route?
We love these teams. We love the hill, and we love the experience and everything about it. We want to love the fan base, but sometimes y'all make it hard, and that's what we're trying to fix. Because, like it says at the very beginning of this show, like some loud guy says, this is where the fun begins. Really, at the end of the day, that's all we want.
Wow. Set the bar kind of high for final thoughts there. That's why we call him the wise man, y'all.
Hey, man. First one, I'm waiting for the second one.
All right, so now it comes time for my final thought. And I'll say it again. First off, I got a very important shout out. I got two shout outs. Shout out to the other half of ITHP Royalty, Mama Linda. She's been under the weather here lately. All of us here at ITHP stand with you, Mama Linda, and we hope you get better. And then congratulations to my parents for celebrating 36 years yesterday.
Wow.
36 years. But congratulations to them. Here's the thing, y'all. All right. When we do State of the Hog, it is not a gripe session from us, the four of us at the fan base. Okay. We do it once a year to air everybody's grievances out there. Everybody's, because we at Inside the Hog Pen accept everyone, not just the student section, not just Rabbit fans, not just old fans, everybody. All right, everybody. Let's just all get along. All right. We are Razorback Nation. It's time we tell everybody who we are and where we come from. Don't forget to join me Friday morning, 10 a.m., 101.1 FM, The Answer. It is the other half of State of the Hogs, and you never know what the loudest mouth in the fan base will say. 501-823-0965 will get you on the air. We had Johnny from Center Ridge call in last week. Sounded
Man, that
sick.
guy made some valid points. I'm gonna be honest with y'all.
It's one of the smartest callers you've had. I mean,
Well,
it's some great points.
he did. But make sure you guys tune into that. Make sure you guys follow Cam Productions, The Final Jump Shot, episode 6, out now about the Tarkdale Dragons. And then follow ITHP. All of our archived episodes and some pod exclusives are on our podcast channel and our YouTube. And listen, guys, we love you guys. We love our fans here at ITHP. So if you're part of the ITHP family, I have a very big announcement. We are very, 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 very close to launching, finally, after 9 years, our merchandise line. So
Thanks for watching this episode of Inside the Hog Pen. Listen anytime on your favorite podcast provider and be sure to follow us on all our social network channels.